Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a quick one about a recent stock that has seen actually a lot of movement recently, and it had like a crazy day at one point where it was up over 400%, and that is Kodak stock. Now keep in mind, it has dropped way down since it had that initial plus 400% day. That was probably the craziest movement that I think I've ever seen for an individual stock in one day. So just out of curiosity, let's check out the stock price for today. It is at $10.45 per share. And this is one that is down a lot today. It's down 27.89%, and then in the after hours, it's already down even more at minus 2.61%. So this one is around over 30% just today alone, and that's around like $4.50 on the share price. So just to address this one, the reason it is down so much, if we check out the little sidebar with the news right here, for example, we have a few articles discussing that the government loan, the main reason that Kodak spiked up in the first place, the main reason it went from $2.10 to like $33, keep in mind, it actually went up to like 38 at one point on that July 29th date. But the main reason it spiked so much recently was because of the announcement of like a huge government loan. We're talking about like $745 million in a loan for Kodak to develop medicine and pharmaceutical things for the Rona in comparison to what we all know it for, which is being involved in the camera industry. And so as it says right here, this deal is currently on a hold. $765 million is currently on hold because if you aren't familiar with it already, Kodak is under SEC investigation right now. And this is because the Kodak executives, including the CEO, received stock options the day before the announcement of the deal. And I also believe that it was announced early, like one day early of this most recent upcoming deal that was supposed to happen. So I believe it jumped up like 25% the day before the announcement, before everything went totally crazy when we saw like that plus 400%. So the loan was announced internally the day prior to the announcement, so that got out as well. So basically the main reason for this downturn and the main reason that we're seeing this stock just totally plummet to the ground, it's getting pretty much pump and dumped right now, is because not only because of this SEC investigation, but in addition to the SEC investigation, the government loan of $765 million has now been halted. So the SEC investigation alone was a big issue in itself, but also the halting of the loan is really, really bad for Kodak, because at this point, the fact that the loan has been halted and the fact that they are under SEC investigation, you could pretty much attribute a real fair value of Kodak right now at this $2 price tag, in my opinion, because this is nothing other than what Kodak used to be now, because it's not like the loan is guaranteed anymore, and they're also under investigation. So Kodak is under some huge fire right now, and that is the reason this stock has just absolutely plummeted. It's like I said, it got pump and dumped, and even at this point even before all of this happened, for one thing, I thought this peak was just extremely expensive. I thought everybody was overreacting when it was at like $33, $38, because if you look at the past 5 years, even when Kodak was in its semi-prime, not even at its all-time prime, but even just within this 5-range timeline, at 2016, at its highest peak, it was at $16.97. So the government loan skyrocketed this stock way too much, in my opinion, and that's not the fault of the government, that's the fault of the investors, the people that are buying into this stock thinking that they can get some quick cash, and I'm sure a lot of people did so, but keep in mind, some people are left holding the bag right now, and some people have left this stock losing thousands of dollars, and I can almost guarantee at least one person has lost over $100,000 alone just on this stock. So that's the thing that you have to be careful when it comes to huge announcements. If you're trading short term based on hype, you have to be really careful, because Kodak has just got absolutely pump and dumped right now, and I could see it getting even worse. I could see this one dropping down to $5, especially with the government loan being halted. So this is not looking very good at all for Kodak. And so anyways, I kind of do feel like this is a little bit representative of how investors are in this market right now. It seems like people are just willing to throw a lot of money at these small dollar stocks that have some potential, but it just seems that people are just too eager to throw this money at it instead of actually looking into these companies a little bit more. And it's a little bit comparable to what I've seen with Moderna as well. Actually, Moderna is a really good example. Moderna had a ton of hypes based off of the Rona. I even did videos on Moderna like sometime between February and May, and I remember stating, especially on the day that it hit $80, traders for people to be really careful with stocks like these, because these are really hype driven, especially in the time where we had that most recent crash back in February. People were just looking for some stocks to throw some money into where they believed they could actually make money in comparison to a lot of the other companies that were struggling because of the Rona, whereas you have these vaccine stocks that are actually growing in a time where other stocks are in a downturn. So people were throwing a lot of money at Moderna, and way back during this time in May, I said to be careful, especially at this $80 price tag. I said that maybe in the short term, maybe the next few couple of months, we could be seeing Moderna at least stay around this number or go maybe a little bit higher, but that in the long term, this could be another one of those pump and dump stocks. And I also believe that there was some news pieces about the CEO or either just some of the higher up people in this company selling off their stock as it started to skyrocket. So when it went from like this $20 price tag all the way up to $80, there were even people that were head of the company selling off a lot of their shares. And in my opinion, that's really indicative of a risky stock. You've seen this with Nikola Motors. That's another risky one in my opinion. But with especially these vaccine stocks, you have a lot of hype around these right now because, you know, they're involved in a potential Rona vaccine, and that's something that could not only skyrocket that stock alone, but just news of a potential vaccine of the Rona could skyrocket pretty much every stock in the stock market as well. So I think this whole situation with Kodak is kind of similar to Moderna. It almost seems like there's a vaccine bubble right now where a lot of people are throwing money into these vaccine stocks, and it's also pretty similar to what we're seeing with Nikola Motors and other EV companies right now that are receiving so much hype, a huge evaluation, and some of them haven't even delivered any working vehicles like Nikola. So I really do think if you're an investor like this, yes, it's a little bit tempting because some of these stocks are skyrocketing. There are some people making money, but keep in mind a lot of these day traders don't consistently profit. And I've heard from day traders themselves talking about how much of a mental struggle it is because it's not always just pure gains like what we see with Kodak and Moderna. And also, I think people just need to be careful right now. Honestly, I think that just buying the winners is a solid strategy. Just buying the stocks that have continued to do well over the past 5 years, especially the ones in the tech sector. That's what I like to focus on. For example, Microsoft and Apple are ones that go along with that example, but Tesla is a little bit different. It's one of those that didn't grow until recently over these past 5 years, but it is one that I've done a lot of research on and have a lot of faith in. But like I said, you have to be careful, especially with these ones like Nikola right now. There are just tons of EV companies IPOing just because they know people want to throw money at it, hoping that it's the next Tesla. So it's kind of similar to the whole Kodak situation. You have to be careful because there's a lot of hype in the stock market right now, but when it comes down to what a company is actually doing instead of what they're saying, then that's what you need to pay attention to, in my opinion. And that's kind of like with Trevor Milton at Nikola. So my lesson here is just to be careful with these vaccine stocks. It's risky because the likelihood of them actually coming up with a vaccine is pretty unlikely. And you never know, if we do come up with a vaccine, it could be one of those companies that we've never even heard of. And also, a lot of these pharmaceutical companies are simply just announcing news that they're doing something around this whole Rona situation because it helps grow their stock price. So just be careful with this whole situation right now. But anyways, I just wanted to share this little small piece of news with y'all. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to smash that like button, and also feel free to sign up to Robinhood and Webull in the description below with my referral link, especially if you lost money on Kodak. You know, that's nice passive income. Plus with Webull right now, you can get 2 free stocks, one if you sign up with my referral link and another if you deposit $100, and then you can also get up to $60 depending on how much that deposit amount is. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.